Welcome to our journey through the life of Abraham. Stay with us till the end to discover who Abraham is and his significance in history. The Bible is a tapestry of interconnected stories. One of the most significant threads in this tapestry is the life of Abraham. Revered in Christianity, Abraham's faith journey has captivated readers for millennia. His story is not just a historical account, it's a timeless testament to the power of faith and the unwavering bond between God and humanity. Abraham's life, as depicted in the book of Genesis, is a journey marked by divine encounters, unwavering faith, and profound sacrifices. Originally named Abram, meaning exalted father, his name was later changed to Abraham, father of a multitude, signifying God's promise to make him the father of many nations. Born in ancient Mesopotamia, Abraham's story unfolds in an era when polytheism was the norm. Yet, he stands out for his radical monotheism, his unwavering belief in one God. His life, filled with trials and triumphs, serves as a blueprint for understanding the essence of faith and the nature of God's covenant with humanity. Abraham's journey is about more than just his personal relationship with God. His story lays the foundation for the emergence of three major world religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. His unwavering faith in the face of uncertainty continues to inspire people of faith today. Abraham's story begins with a call, a divine summons that would forever alter the course of his life. God commanded Abram to leave his homeland, his father's house, and journey to a land that he would show him. This land was Canaan, a place where Abram would eventually establish his lineage and his legacy. Genesis 12 verses 1-3 records the divine call. The Lord had said to Abram, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." This call was not merely a geographical relocation, it was a spiritual pilgrimage, a leap of faith into the unknown. Abram, obedient to the divine command, left the comfort of his homeland and embarked on a journey into the wilderness guided only by his faith in the unseen God. This act of obedience marked the beginning of Abram's covenant relationship with God. It set the stage for a series of divine promises and covenants that would shape the destiny of Abram and his descendants. God's call to Abram was not just a command, it was accompanied by a series of extraordinary promises. God promised to make Abram a great nation, to bless him, and to make his name great. Abram, despite his advanced age and the apparent impossibility of fathering a nation, chose to believe God's word. Genesis 15 recounts how God further solidified his promise with a covenant ceremony. Under the vast expanse of the night sky, God declared, "Look up at the heavens and count the stars, if indeed you can count them, so shall your offspring be." This covenant, sealed with the imagery of innumerable stars, was a testament to the unwavering faithfulness of God. It was a promise that transcended human understanding and relied solely on divine power. Abram, overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of God's promise, simply believed. This act of faith, of trusting in God's word even when it seemed impossible, became the defining characteristic of Abram's life and the foundation of his enduring legacy. His unwavering belief in the God who could make a way out of no way would echo throughout generations to come. As a symbol of the covenant between God and Abram, a covenant that extended to all his male descendants, God instituted the practice of circumcision. This physical act served as a visible reminder of the invisible bond between God and his chosen people. Genesis 17 verses 1-14 details this covenant. God said to Abram, "As for me, this is my covenant with you. You will be the father of many nations. No longer will you be called Abram, your name will be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. I will make you very fruitful. I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you. I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants after you for the generations to come, to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. Circumcision became a sign of belonging, a mark that set apart the descendants of Abraham as a people set apart for God. It was a physical manifestation of a spiritual reality, a constant reminder of the covenant promises and the God who had made them. This act of circumcision was not merely a ritualistic practice, it was a profound symbol of the enduring relationship between God and his people. It signified a commitment that transcended generations, a covenant that would shape the religious landscape for centuries to come. The promised son. Years passed and Sarah, Abraham's wife, remained childless. The promise of becoming a father of many nations seemed increasingly distant. Yet, Abraham continued to hold on to God's promise, his faith unwavering even in the face of mounting doubt and human limitations. Then, in Genesis 17 verses 15 to 22, God reiterated his promise, specifically stating that Sarah would bear a son. God said, "Your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him." This announcement, met with a mixture of joy and disbelief, tested the limits of Abraham's faith. He was 100 years old and Sarah was 90. Having a child at their age seemed humanly impossible. Yet Abraham, true to his nature, chose to believe God. The promise of Isaac was not just about the continuation of Abraham's lineage, it was a testament to the power of God to work beyond human comprehension. It was a reminder that with God, nothing is impossible. The birth of Isaac, against all odds, would become a cornerstone of Abraham's faith journey, a tangible manifestation of God's faithfulness to his promises. A plea for Sodom. Abraham's relationship with God was not confined to receiving blessings and promises. It was a dynamic relationship, characterized by open communication, and even, at times, bold intercession. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah, as recounted in Genesis chapter 18 verses 16 to 33, offers a glimpse into this aspect of Abraham's faith. When God revealed his plan to destroy the wicked cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham, known for his righteousness, dared to intercede on their behalf. He pleaded with God to spare the cities if even a small number of righteous people could be found within them. Abraham's plea was not simply an act of mercy, it was a testament to his unwavering belief in the just and compassionate nature of God. He dared to question God, not out of disrespect, but out of a deep-seated conviction that God's mercy could triumph over judgment. While Sodom and Gomorrah ultimately faced destruction, Abraham's intercession stands as a powerful testament to the importance of prayer and the believer's ability to approach God with boldness and humility. It reveals a God who is open to dialogue, who listens to the cries of his people, and who values justice and righteousness above all else. The ultimate test. The pinnacle of Abraham's faith journey arrived in the form of a devastating test, a command that seemed to contradict every promise God had ever made. Genesis chapter 22 verses 1 to 2 and 9 to 12 recounts the heart-wrenching story of the binding of Isaac. God commanded Abraham to take his son Isaac, his only son, the son whom he loved, to the land of Moriah, and offer him as a burnt offering. This command was not a test of Abraham's love for Isaac. It was a test of his unwavering obedience and absolute trust in God. Imagine the turmoil that must have gripped Abraham's heart. The son he had waited decades for, the son who represented the fulfillment of God's promises, was now the very sacrifice God demanded. Yet Abraham, in an act of unimaginable faith, chose to obey. He journeyed to Moriah, built an altar, bound his son Isaac, and took up the knife to slay him. At the very last moment, as Abraham raised his hand to strike, an angel of the Lord stopped him. God provided a ram caught in a thicket as a substitute sacrifice, sparing Isaac's life. Legacy of faith. The story of the binding of Isaac is not about child sacrifice, it's a profound exploration of faith, obedience, and the unfathomable nature of God's love. Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son, not out of blind obedience, but out of unwavering trust in God's goodness and faithfulness, solidified his place as a model of faith for generations to come. This act of obedience, tested and proven in the most extreme circumstance, became the defining moment of Abraham's life. It demonstrated the depth of his faith, a faith that transcended human understanding and rested solely on the unwavering character of God. The legacy of Abraham extends far beyond his lifetime. His journey of faith, marked by obedience, sacrifice, and unwavering trust in God, laid the foundation for the Christianity. Abraham and World Abraham's story is not confined to the pages of the Bible. He is a central figure in Christian tradition, drawing upon his life and legacy in unique ways. Abraham is revered as the first patriarch, the one who entered into a covenant with God, a covenant that continues to shape Christianity. He is seen as the father of the nations, the ancestor through whom God's blessings and promises flow. Christians recognize Abraham as a model of faith, his unshakable trust in God serving as an example for all believers. His willingness to sacrifice his son Isaac is seen as a foreshadowing of God's sacrifice of his own son Jesus for the sins of humanity. Christians recognize his willingness to sacrifice his son Ishmael as an act of ultimate submission to God's will. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe for more biblical stories.